In today's video, we've got a full tuning guide for the fantastic new Lamborghini Gallardo. We're going to start off with the 600 pp tune for Tokyo Expressway. We're then going to head to Le Mans for a 700 pp tune. And then finally, we're going to be trying out a fully tuned, completely unlimited monster. Now, before we get into today's video, I just need to address the new update 1.49 for Gran Turismo 7, which has slightly adjusted both of them when you grinds that we're going to be using in this event. Now, to start off with Tokyo, the AI cars in general are quite a bit quicker, but the main car of concern is Valerio Gallo, which you can see in lead in the blue NSX, but it's a bit of a false dawn. This car is very quick at the start, but it's now on sport soft tyres, so you don't really need to concern yourself because it has to pit twice, and in all my money grinds you only have to pit at maximum once, so you've already got quite a big advantage. I quite like the change. It's a bit more of a challenge. If you're struggling, you can always adjust the AI difficulty down. It won't affect the money whatsoever. In terms of Le Mans, it's a little bit more straightforward. There's not such a drastic change. I just found that the AI are a lot better in the mixed conditions now, whereas they were awful before. But not too much of a concern, but a little bit more challenging. Again, if you're struggling, just turn the difficulty down. It won't affect the winning bonus whatsoever. Hello everybody, thanks for stopping by. Welcome back to another Gran Turismo 7 tuning video. I'm KCR-Mark. So the new update 1.49 brought us an unusually good selection of cars to try out and some very interesting engine swaps. But in today's video I'm going to start off with my personal favourite in the new cars, and that's the absolutely fantastic Lamborghini Gallardo. For me, this has always been one of my favourite modern Lamborghinis. It's not too over the top, very clean and subtle, and has aged really well in my opinion. 4-wheel drive and 5-litre V10 engine sounds absolutely phenomenal. So on release of the update, the car was actually available for the used car dealership for a short period of time, quite a reasonable 253,000 credits. If not, it's always available at the Lamborghini dealership in Brand Central. So first off, we're going to head to the custom parts store, fit whichever wheels you prefer, standard diameter and wide width. Next up, we're going to custom parts, pretty easy for this build. Standard front splitter, standard side skirts, standard rear diffuser, and we're just going to fit a Type A rear wing. Next up, there's just a couple of tuning parts needed for this build. We need to buy ballast, front brakes and discs, and fully customised suspension. So as you might be aware, the new update has brought about a major physics change, so the tuning at the minute is a little bit of a challenge. I've gone for quite a soft front end and stiffened up the rear with it being a mid-engine car. Quite a lot of ballast to the front just to get that weight distribution right. At the minute it just seems to be about taming that understeer that seems to be quite prevalent in a lot of the cars, but just copy my figures on there and you should have a really nice balanced car. Heading on to World Circuits, and our first race is going to be at the Tokyo Expressway for the World Touring Car 600. Not too much to tell you about strategy-wise with this car. It's a one-stop strategy. You don't need to do any fuel maps, no fuel saving. It will do around about 6 or 7 laps on one tank of fuel, and the sports hard tyres last really well on this car with it being 4-wheel drive as well. In terms of driving the car, it's very fast down the straight, around about 200 miles an hour. Very stable around the corners. I've tried to keep the handling as neutral as I can. It's quite an understeery car from the base setup, as many of the cars are now with this new update. Like I say, that ballast helps quite a lot. We've put all the ballast at the front to try and get that weight distribution nice, and it's just a really nice simple car to drive, not too much hassle at all, really nicely balanced, and lots of grip out the corners obviously with that 4-wheel drive system. Now, as I mentioned in the intro, just beware of the blue NSX that we're coming up against here, Valerio Gallo. After the update, he's extremely fast at the start of the race, but as I mentioned, he's running on sport soft tyres, so you don't really need to concern yourself too much as long as you stay within around about 20 seconds of the car, because we're only going to be doing one pit stop in this car. So once the pit stop's out of the way and you're onto a dry track, this car really is fun to drive. No real need for changing the tyres. They will last the whole race, but entirely up to you on that. You're going to have quite a healthy lead. Great fun to throw about, really nice and stable, and just a really solid car to drive. Not the fastest thing in the world. Lap times around about the 207, 208 mark, so there's obviously much faster cars about, but this is all about using this car for multiple races, and it's incredibly cheap tune as well, and especially if you're buying it from the used car dealership. It's probably around about 40,000 credit car to buy and tune, and obviously you're going to win 825,000 credits with the clean race bonus just in this race alone. So heading on to the 700pp tune, it's a bit more radical this time. We're going for more of a Group 3 car build. So we're going to have the wide body kit. This time we're going to have the 20-inch wheels and the wide width. So custom parts wise, really simple. We're just going to go for Type B on everything. So Type B front splitter, Type B side skirts, Type B rear diffuser, and a Type B rear wing, whichever size you prefer. And with these external modifications, I think personally it looks absolutely stunning. So the tune for this car is fairly similar to the previous one. Obviously we're running racing hard tyres, so we've made a few allowances on the suspension. I'll enlarge everything on the screen so you can copy what you need. You need to buy racing hard tyres. For this one we're going to use fully customised transmission. Again, we're using ballast. This time we need a fully customised ECU. They're the aero packages we're using. This time we're using air cleaner, silencer and exhaust as well, and weight reduction stage 1 and 2. So next we're heading to the World Touring Car 700 at Le Mans. First thing you want to do is set the fuel map to 6, because we want to try and make it to the end of lap 3 if possible. That's when the weather comes in around this track. With this having 567 brake horsepower now with this tune, it's not quite as good on fuel obviously, so we just need to preserve that fuel best we can. Driving wise, with all that power and the racing tyres, this car feels absolutely fantastic. It's very fast down the straights. Again, with the tune that we're using, really stable car. A lot of cars seem to suffer not only with oversteer, but a lot of lift off understeer and oversteer with this new update. So we've tried to eradicate that as much as we can, and ended up really nice, stable and fun to drive car. So with that lean fuel map, there's no need to short shift or do any other fuel saving. You will make it to the end of lap 3, no problem. And as predicted, the weather is starting to come in, so depending on your race, you might need to use intermediate tyres, or you can stay on the racing hards as I have. It's a bit of a lottery weather-wise this race, as you know. So with that 4-wheel drive system, the tune upon this car is really nice and stable, lots of traction out the corners, and it's really consistent even in the wet weather that this race often throws up. And with that full racing exhaust, that V10 absolutely howls and sounds incredible. So nearing the end of the race, we need another pit stop for fuel at the end of lap 5. Unfortunately, I lost all the footage at the end of the race. I deleted it somehow off my PS5, but I won by around about 20 seconds, so don't expect the huge winning margins before the update. The AI are considerably quicker in the wet conditions now. So for the final one, we're going to go all out. I've just spent all the money, put all the upgrades on the car you can get, just to see what it was like. 1075 brake horsepower, racing soft tyres, and we're just going to take it for a bit of a thrash, nothing too serious. This is absolute monster, as you can imagine. The chassis actually handles the over 1,000 brake horsepower fairly well, but it is a bit of a monster. I wasn't too concerned about the tune on this. It's not really for any money grinding, it's just for a bit of fun, just to see what the car can do. And it's nice to have the option just to screw a huge amount of power out of the car like this and just take it for a thrash. So thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know how you get on with both the money grind tunes. Like I say, it has changed quite a bit since the updates, but it shouldn't be too concerning. I personally quite like the challenge of it. It's been a bit more tricky, But as I mentioned before, if you're having any troubles whatsoever, you can just turn that AI difficulty down to easy. You still get exactly the same amount of money. It doesn't make any difference at all to that. So thanks for stopping by. Let me know how you get on. I really do appreciate all the feedback and comments. I love reading the comments, and I will see you again soon. Cheers, bye.